violent crash in Claremont as this Tesla slams into this home, and it was all caught on video. Day 7 of the Larry Migliette murder trial, and we hear from several of Maya Migliette's family members, including her brother-in-law, who makes a pretty stunning statement.
We're 5 days until the election, and if you plan to mail your ballot, the Registrar of Voters recommends that you do it today.
CAL FIRE's newest firefighting tool here in San Diego, capable of night flying and massive water drops from the air.
We begin tonight with a dramatic crash caught on camera that sent a car flying into a home and 6 people to the hospital. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. That crash happened around 11 this morning on Chateau Drive in Claremont. News 8's Shannon Handy shows us what happened.
This crash caused quite a bit of damage. Take a look at the house where it happened across the street. There were people home at the time. Physically, they're okay, but there were 6 people injured who were in the 2 vehicles involved. Dramatic video from a neighbor's Ring camera captured the moment a red Tesla crashed into a gray Mercedes before slamming into a home on Chateau Drive in Claremont Thursday morning. It happened just after 11 a.m. In it, you can see the Tesla coming down Diane Avenue. It does not appear to slow down as it hits a Mercedes that was at the stop sign before flying into the house. Neighbors immediately ran outside and called 911.
I heard a and every time I've heard that, something got hit, so I came out to see what happened. When I came down the street, I saw all the debris on the street, and I saw the 2 cars and said, oh my God, that is not good.
And the house stopped the Tesla. There was no skid marks or anything.
San Diego fire officials tell us there were 5 people in the Tesla and 1 person in the Mercedes. All 6 people were transported to the hospital, 2 with major injuries. 1 of these 6 injured is a child. According to witnesses, the Tesla driver said they were in autopilot at the time. That's still under investigation. Meanwhile, neighbors say while what happened is scary, it's not surprising.
It's not a day that goes by that we always hear somebody honking at this intersection because either somebody's coming down Diane is not completely stopping and pulling out in cross traffic every day. So it doesn't surprise us that it happened. We just wish it wouldn't happen.
The house has been red tagged. Tonight, crews are out here boarding it up. Reporting in Claremont, I'm Shannon Handy for News 8.
Thank you, Shannon. New tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom is announcing $80 million in state grants to boost security after the deadly mosque shooting here in San Diego. The funding will go to hundreds of places of worship and nonprofit organizations across the state. The funds will help increase security measures like reinforcing doors, updating surveillance and alarm systems as well. Several organizations and places of worship in San Diego County will receive some of that funding. Day 7 of the Larry Migliette murder trial is in the books after the jury heard testimony today from several of Maya's family members.
Some of it was pretty emotional. News 8's Kelly Hessedal was in the courtroom all day and has the latest from the South Bay Courthouse.
And some of the most compelling testimony of the day came from Maya's brother-in-law, Teote. He testified about a conversation he had with Larry at a Christmas gathering back in 2020, just a few weeks before Maya's disappearance. He said Larry talked about being depressed and stressed out. His marriage was getting worse, and Teote says Larry told him, and I'm paraphrasing here, I want to get rid of the boyfriend, but if I do it in the building, the cops will come. I have to plan it well. Now, it's unclear what was meant by in the building, which building. It really wasn't clarified. Now, Teote was nervous being on the stand. He was talking fast, but it was a piece of information that was new. I had not heard this before. Also, Maya's brother, JR, took the stand and testified in August of 2020. Larry contacted him in a panic, saying Maya wants a restraining order, and so JR got this explosion of text messages from Maya saying she's sick of 20 years of this. Larry's controlling, he's manipulative, she feels isolated, he never lets her have a moment alone. Now, just like JP said yesterday, JR also testified about having a conversation with Larry about him wanting to, quote, get the other guy. So both brothers are now saying Larry made these statements to them, but during cross-examination, the defense tried to poke holes in JR's credibility, basically saying some of the things you're testifying about now, you never brought them up to police when you spoke to them back in June of 2021. So there were these kind of awkward moments where they literally had him put on headphones and watch video on a laptop of his actual interview with a detective from 2021. They did this a few times, trying to show the jury his statements weren't consistent. So court is dark tomorrow and the trial resumes next week. Kelly Hessedal, News 8.
Thanks, Kelly. And you can watch our coverage of the Millete case with the CBS 8 app on your phone or TV. Stream now for free. Turnout for Tuesday's primary is already running ahead of prior elections.
But if you haven't cast your ballot just yet, officials say time is running out for you to mail it. There's some changes. News 8's Abby Black is live at the Registrar of Voters to explain a new rule. Abby?
Marcella, if you still have your ballot at home, the Registrar of Voters has a simple message. You either want to drop it off here at the Registrar of Voters at a drop-off location or a voting center. And why? It's all because of the postmark.
A steady stream of voters at the Registrar of Voters in Kearney Mesa, 5 days before the election.
We compare the mail ballot returns now. They're slightly higher than they have been in the last two primaries, but still on par. So right now we're at about 16% that have turned it in. And when you compare it to the last two elections, those are right about 15 and 14%. So trending just a little bit higher.
Clay Bingham and Julie Mitchell hand-delivered their ballots at the Registrar of Voters today.
It's been a tradition for a few years now. I just love driving down, coming in, parking, and going in and meeting people.
I went inside and I took it out of the envelope and put it in the box.
Those early counts matter. The governor has urged counties to speed up voting results, saying the longer it takes, the more room there is for mis- and disinformation.
Is it 3 days in the postal service before?
San Diego County Registrar Sean Brom says that they process everything by the book.
The county has specific processes in place to ensure that every ballot that is received is verified and is accurately tabulated.
If you haven't mailed your ballot yet, here's what you need to know. The U.S. Postal Service has changed how it defines a postmark. It's now based on when mail is processed, not when you drop it off.
There have been some changes at the post office where they are centralizing the collection and where it gets postmarked.
That means a ballot dropped in a mailbox today may not get to today's postmark. In California, your ballot must be postmarked by Election Day and arrive within 7 days after to count.
What we are encouraging people this close to the election is to utilize one of the ballot drop box locations.
There are 150 voting locations open now. By Saturday, all 220 will be operating across the county. You can also register and vote at any voting center on Election Day. Track your ballot at sdvote.com.
To further expand on tracking your ballot, the Registrar of Voters says that when you sign up for that on sdvote.com, you'll receive a text message when your ballot is received and another text message when it's been counted. Marcella?
Abby, so what if someone absolutely wants to mail their ballot on Election Day? Is there anything they can do?
So this would be your safest option. You can go to the post office itself and have someone hand stamp that postmark so it is counted on that day, on Election Day. But again, the Registrar of Voters says your safest last-minute option is to drop it off at one of their locations.
Good information. I think a lot of voters don't know about that yet, so hopefully we can get the word out so those votes do count. Thanks so much, Abby. A new poll is shedding some light on the race for governor, showing which candidates are leading and whether voters are still up for grabs.
News 8 State Matters political reporter Jenny Hupp breaks it all down for us.
With just days to go, the race appears to be taking shape. A Democrat and a Republican continue to lead the field, but with millions of votes still to be cast, the question is whether these numbers will help solidify support or shift it.
After Memorial Day, we saw a pretty sharp spike in people coming in to drop off their ballots or kind of come in and vote in person.
California voters are turning out in the days leading up to the June gubernatorial primary election.
But what a comeback it has been for Becerra. And the Steyer situation, I think, is extremely interesting because he has spent $200 million, an all-time record in California, just in the primary. What, he has 15% of the vote so far?
A new poll by the nonpartisan Public Policy Institute of California showing Democrat Javier Becerra at the front of the pack of 8 leading candidates with 23% of likely voters. Republican Steve Hilton in second with 20% of likely voters, followed by Democrat Tom Steyer with 15%, Republican Chad Bianco with 13%,
9%, and Democrat Katie Porter with 12%.
I think it's undisputed that we do have kind of a three leading candidates right now, Hilton, Becerra, and Steyer. And one would expect that these polls that are coming out will show different versions of that story.
Politics often ever evolving, but the race to succeed Gavin Newsom has been especially turbulent.
I think for Democrats in California, it has been pretty agonizing over the last several months.
Former Democratic candidate Eric Swalwell was leading the field before he was forced out of the race following allegations of sexual assault, which he has denied.
It just turned the entire campaign topsy-turvy.
Democrat Katie Porter has also faced challenges on the campaign trail. Videos showing her clashing with a staffer and a reporter went viral, drawing unwanted attention to her campaign.
It's her temperament that was in question, and it still dogs her to this day.
But after Swalwell dropped out of the race, Javier Becerra surged from the single digits to the top of the field.
Competent, experienced individual with a long resume, and he just, things just sort of gravitated toward him. I mean, sometimes it's karma.
As a result, political experts say Democrats have been holding on to their ballots.
It's like pearl clutching, but with ballots. For a lot of voters who are watching a topsy-turvy governor's race and want to make sure that they're voting for somebody who can make it into the runoff, they are kind of waiting for a sign from somebody or something. And it might be that these polls are providing that final kind of nudge to them.
No matter what the result is, if it doesn't go your way, that's not a reason to not vote in the next one.
It's important to note this PPIC poll was conducted about 2 weeks ago, and new polls are expected this weekend. But with recent surveys consistently showing Steve Hilton, Javier Becerra, and Tom Steyer at or near the top, experts say that appears to be the direction of the race heading into Tuesday. Jenny Hutt, News 8.
Thanks, Jenny. And per election data expert Paul Mitchell, ballot return tracker, 11% of ballots have been returned as of this afternoon. And make sure to stick with News 8 for updates on California's primary. You can stream our election coverage on the CBS 8 app, download on your TV or phone, and watch for free.
San Diego's top health official has a plea to both parents and doctors as he issues a warning about kids using e-bikes.
Well, details on that still ahead, plus a bipartisan push in Sacramento to protect kids online.
And an up-close look at training, including CAL FIRE San Diego's newest firefighting tool.
And still to come in your 7-day forecast tonight, I am tracking the chance of some showers overnight. Gonna be really cool on Friday and then a beautiful warm up for the weekend. Your 7-day forecast is coming up next.